Yeah, good evening, friends. Welcome back to the wonderful session, resume preparation. Okay, so today we are going to discuss about how to transform the career skills. So, what are the things we are having? So, before entering into that, so we are going to discuss about some basic things regarding the resume preparation. Okay, how to align your CV with job description, these things. First, let me start with the agenda. First, we are going to start with the scratch. So, why tailor your resume? Okay, why you have to tailor your resume, and then how to understand the job description. Okay, so what based on the job description, how to rebuild our resume. So, these things we are going to discuss, and after that, identifying your relevant skills and experience based on the job description. So if I'm going to prepare some resume, what are the key words? Okay, what are the key skills or keywords I need to mention? So that will be more effective in that resume. We are going to discuss about that thing also. And then how to customize the layout. So if I'm going to prepare the resume based on the appearance, okay, so whatever the content you're giving inside the resume, rather than that, the layout is more important. So how to customize that resume layout, we are going to discuss about it. And then cover letter. So if you are going to give some resume, the cover letter will speak about your personal interest. Okay. So for example, if I'm going to work for the data scientist, as a data scientist, it's all about the project related thing. So apart from that, I know how to analyze the data using some BI tools. So personal and also related to the professional thing, you can mention it in cover letter. So how to prepare that cover letter? So that is what we are going to discuss in today's session. And finally, what are the tips and tricks to prepare the resume in the best practice? So this is what we are going to discuss for next 10 to 15 minutes. First, why tail your resume? Why we need to prepare the resume? Okay, if you are going for the interview, the document which speaks about you. Okay, before introducing yourself to the hiring person, the document which is telling about yourself, that is called resume. So, what are the things we need to mention in this resume? The name. Okay, first and foremost thing, name, and then your contact details. So before these things, you have to mention about your objective. So in this objective, why you are searching for the job. Okay. So why you are looking for that particular company. Okay. So what are the things you are having? Key skills you are having to obtain that particular job in the particular A organization. So these things you need to mention in that objective. So first one regarding the objective and then contact details. Other than that, what are the things we need to mention? Okay, what are the things should be there to tail that resume? First thing, visibility and relevance. So, if you are going to apply for a job, a particular role as a data scientist or entry level data scientist, like you, thousand of participants will apply the same role. Okay, for the same role. So now I want to get the job means my resume should be shortlisted. For that, what I have to do? I need to do some enhancement on my resume. But before entering into that, it should be more visible and relevant to that hiring manager. So whatever the resume or whatever the job role, if you are using the same resume for all the job role, it is not correct way. Why? Because for each and every job role, that JD, okay, that is called job description. So that will differ for each and every role. In case if you are using the same thing for all the job roles, it won't be relevant to the hiring manager. So what you have to do? First thing, it should be more visible and relevant to the hiring manager. And second thing, alignment with job and culture. So if you are applying for the Indian based company, for Indian companies, we will have some job and culture for that. Okay, company culture will be there. In case if you are applying for abroad based company, there will be some different company culture. So if you are going to highlight the skills that should be form of company culture. So what will be the based on your company, we have to follow some highlights. Okay, we have to follow some format to highlight our skills and experience. So that should be in the proper alignment. So what are the alignments we have to follow? So we are saying format, everything, right? So what are the things we are having? So those things we are going to discuss in the upcoming session. Okay. And then interview chances. So increases the likelihood of being called up for an interview. So what you have to do, you should apply for multiple jobs, then you will get shortlisted for out of, for example, if you are applying for 100 jobs, from that you will get the chance to get an interview for 10 jobs. So how you will get the 10 job interviews? Based on your resume. So whatever the interviews you are getting, so based on the job description. What is job description? We are going to discuss about it. So based on that job description, you have to tailor your resume. Okay. And finally, essential for competitiveness. That is what in the starting itself I have mentioned. For a particular job like you, thousands and thousands of participants will apply. So if I want to get shortlisted means it should be standing out. Okay, that means outstanding resume should be there. So without these things, I cannot get shortlisted by that particular company. Okay, if you are applying for the dream company, you have to tailor your resume based on their job culture, or we can say company culture. So coming to this job description, because multiple times I'm saying job description, job description. What is that? So common way we will call it as JD. Okay, that is JD. Okay. So what are the things we need to remember, or what are the things we need to understand in that job description? Means key skills. So obviously they will mention some skills related to that particular job role. Okay. For example, if you are applying for the data analyst, okay, if you are looking for the data analyst job role, in their job description, they will mention about the skill called analytical skill. Okay. And problem solving skill. Like that, we have to identify the key skills. These are all soft skills. Okay. Whatever I'm mentioning right now, that is, okay, that is problem solving skill I mentioned, and then analytical skill. So these are all comes under, okay, analytical skill. So these are the few skills comes under soft skill. Okay. So what we have to do, communication. So these things are mentioned comes under soft skill. Then we are having one more type of skill that we can call it as art skill. Okay, we can call it as art skill. So under this art skill, if you are applying for the data analyst job role. Okay, if you are applying for the data analyst job role, so what are the odd skills you need? Okay, what are the odd skills? So in their job description, they will mention about the Python. Okay, they will mention about the Power BI. Okay, so they will mention about the Google Looker Studio. For example, they want to work on the online based, okay, cloud based BI tool means we can go with Google Looker Studio. Likewise, if they are mentioning some key skills, okay, what they are prioritizing, okay, what they are prioritizing, that we can understand from the job description, because we know multiple skills to do the analysis, but what they are preferring, okay. So a particular company will prefer for Power BI. Another company will prefer for Tableau. So what kind of tool they are preferring, or what kind of skills, important skills, or we can say key skills they are preferring, that we can get it from the job description. Okay, that we can get it from the job description. Then we are having a essential versus desirable skills. Okay. So focus on the essential qualification. So you are having multiple qualification like Python, I know, Power BI, I know, Tableau, I know. Even machine learning is also, I know, means you are applying for the data analyst role. Okay, you are going to work on the past to present data. So here machine learning, it's your key skill. But is that relevant to the job role means? No, it's not relevant to your job role. If you are learned for the deep learning, PyTouch, these tools are you learned about those things means whether it is relevant to this job role means no. Okay, but you are having some key skills. We are having some highlighting skills, but based on the job description, based on the job role, these are all irrelevant skills. Okay. So what we have to do, we need to focus on the essential qualification. Okay. We need to focus on the essential qualification. For example, they are preferring for the click. Okay. They are preferring for the click uh, kind of tool means that is not aware of you. So what you have to do, you need to start preparing on that. You have mentioned in your description, resume, based on the job description, what you have to do. You need to focus on that particular skills. Okay. And then coming to the adapting of job language. Okay. So you need that particular job, but they are preferring for Hindi speaking person. Okay. Or they are preferring for French speaking person. So, but I need that job. So what you have to do, you can mention that, or you can get that communication regarding things from the job description, and you can put it in your resume, so we can focus on to enhance our communication skill or enhance our job language from that job description. Okay, use the specific language and terms from the job description. You know all the languages, you know French, you know Tamil, you know English, Malayalam, Hindi, everything. But in their job description, they are specifically expecting for the French speaking person means you can highlight that key skill in your resume. Okay. And then finally coming into the interview insights. Okay. So based on the job description, you can predict something. Okay. These kind of questions they are going to ask. What kind of questions? So based on the job description, they are asking about um, Power BI. So what kind of Power BI questions we can learn or we can focus? These things you can get it from the job description, because without any knowledge about that job role, what we have to do? We have to get some insights or any other information from the job description itself. Okay, so that's why you need to understand the job description. It's a very important thing in your job search. Okay. So whatever the role you're applying for, but job description is very important. Based on the job description only, we can enhance our resume. Okay, we have to focus on that. Then coming to the relevant skills and experiences. So where we can identify this. Okay, where we can mention this. So first thing, match your skills. Okay, you are having the analytical skill, power problem solving skill, communication skill, these things are there. Okay. How you can match these things with your job role. Okay. So these things you can get it from the job description itself. And also we have to mention those things in your resume regarding the skills and experiences. So first thing regarding the skills. So here, as of now, I have mentioned about the soft skill. Other than soft skill, we are having some odd skills, right? So what are the odd skills? That is what? Python tool, Power BI tool, Tableau tool. So the company is preferring for Google Looker Studio. Okay. So what you have to do, you need to mention that Google Looker Studio in the static. Then what you have to do, apart from that, you are you are learning for, or you learn about some other tools also like Power BI, Tableau, Advanced Excel. So these things mean that you have to mention, that you have to list, but based on the priority. Okay, you know all the skills means it's not the thing. You have to prioritize your content. The third point. Okay, so match your skill, as well as if you are going to list the skill means based on the priority, you have to list that skill. Okay, and then months. Okay. So if you got a star award, a best performer award in the last company means, so what you have to do? Sorry, friends, once again. So what you have to do? You need to mention those things in your resume. You need to highlight those things in your resume, because These are all some value added things in your resume. And next thing, the final thing, and also the important thing in your resume, that is update regular basis. So what you have to do for each and every time, if you are applying for the new role, means based on the roles you have to apply the, you have to update the resume. Okay, so update with the new skills and achievements. So obviously what we have to do, if you are doing for the career switch, so based on their job roles, we need to enhance our skills. Okay, we need to enhance our skills, and also whatever the achievements you are doing. For example, if you are doing a course and you got the golden certificate from their side, means what you have to do, that is one of the achievement in your in your career. So what you have to do, you need to mention those things in your resume, and it should be updated in the daily or monthly basis. Okay, so you should not use the similar kind of resume again and again for all the job roles. Okay, and then coming to the keywords effectively, how to use the keywords. Okay, because in your resume, if you prepared the resume for the different job role, you're going to use the same resume in this job role, means that is not quite okay, that is not quite good. Why? Because in their job role, it's related to process executive. For that, we need to take some keywords related to that particular role. But now I'm going to apply for the data analyst. For the data analyst, what kind of keywords we need to prefer? Okay, that is what Python, Power BI, Tableau, advanced Excel, analytical skill, problem solving skill, and then graphical representation. These kind of relevant keywords you should mention in your resume. Okay, so where we can get these keywords? Okay, where we can relate. So I have mentioned all the keywords in the resume, but whether it is relevant or irrelevant, where we can find it. So for this, you can use that job description again. Okay, you can use that job description again. So we can compare with the job description. What are the more keywords we can add, or what are the irrelevant keyword we are having in your resume? We can do the updation. Okay, and then incorporate naturally. What means? Whatever the skills you are applying or whatever the things you are mentioning in your resume, that should be looks natural thing. Okay, I can do this kind of work. Okay, I'm a very quiet person, or I can do a 30 what is it, large amount of data in a single day. These kind of things you are mentioning in your resume. Or if you are learn for the data analytics, but you are going to apply the job for data science, you know about AI, I know about Gen AI, I know about agentic AI. If you are mentioning these things, that should be natural. Okay, so obviously the person will ask whether you know about the AI or Gen AI or agentic AI. So in that time, it should be natural. In case if there is any deviation, that will be a black mark for your interview point. And then, so the balance of keyword usage. So whatever the keywords you are mentioning, that should be proper way. Because these are the important things to shortlist your resume. Okay. So how they are shortlisting, whether it is comes under human reviewers or ATS score, means yes. Obviously, most of the companies are working on the ATS score, and also they are having this human reviewers. So first, they will get the shortlisted resume from ATS. Okay, from ATS. I think you know about this thing. It's a score. Okay, so whatever the resume getting more than 75 percentage, that will shortlisted from the machine side. And then human reviewer will take again. Okay, again they will go through the resume, and then one more time they will do some kind of filtering. So most of the companies are doing in the both flow. Okay, that is ATS and human reviewers. So if I want to score this 75 percentage or 80 percentage, what you have to do? You need to balance the keywords, and whatever the irrelevant keywords you are mentioning for that job description, you have to avoid it. So that is what you can see. Avoid keyword stuffing. So it should be relevant and integrate. Okay, that means based on your job description, you have to mention the keywords. Okay, then what we are having? Customizing the resume layout. Okay, so now I know what are the things I have to add it into my resume. Now the main thing, layout. Okay, so what kind of layout I need to follow? I'm having so many content to add in my resume, but how I can represent it? First one, you have to select the right format to arrange the information. First thing, chronological order. Okay, for example, if you are going to you're going to mention about your experiences from one company to another company, and then so likewise you're having 3 to 4 companies. So I want to mention my experience in the sense what we can do. You have to go with the chronological order and then functional basis. So based on your current job role, what is more relevant thing you can follow with it that particular thing. And also the combination format. Okay, so these things should be there. That is chronological and functional combinational format should be there. And then what is the main thing? Readability. So here, two things are going to review your resume. One is ATS and another, that is what, machine. Another one is human reviewer. Even machine can shortlist your resume, but human will try to filter your resume. So what you have to do? The readability is more important. Okay. One person is sitting and reading your resume means obviously he will spend only 4 to 5 minutes to review your resume. So based on that, you have to mention your key skills, achievements, experiences, and objectives in that particular resume. And then what you have to do? Strategic placement should be there and use of some visuals. If I'm having multiple skills, I want to convey that to the hiring manager means what I have to do, I can use some kind of graphics. Graphics is nothing but visualization. Like bar chart you can give, pie chart you can give to compare one skill with another skill. Okay, how much skills you are knowing. Okay, and how much level of knowing. I mean, how much level of thing you are having in that particular skill. We can easily convey that to the hiring manager if you are adding these things, visuals in that resume. And finally, regarding the cover letter. So I have mentioned all the things in my resume. Everything is perfect. I want to share few more things which is related to personal touch. So what you can do, that we can mention it in our cover letter. So personal touch means I'm having this much of experience. In between, I'm having some career gap. So those personal details you can add it in your career cover letter. Okay, and I'm having some kind of specific interest. Okay, if I'm getting into the job role, I'm having some specific interest that is not mentioned in your job description. So what you can do, those things you can mention in it in your cover letter. Cover letter means which is outside the resume. Okay, and align all the experience with the goals. So already, obviously, you're going to apply. What is it? You're going to mention the experiences in your resume. But other than that, you are having some kind of achievements, personal achievements. You got it from that previous experiences means you can mention that thing in your cover letter. And then finally, the closure. It's very important. In cover letter, you have to give a proper conclusion to finish that cover letter. Okay, proper starting should be there and proper ending should be there. So based on this cover letter itself, obviously the hiring manager will get impressed. Okay. So apart from the resume thing, you can go with the cover letters also. Okay. And finally, what are the best tips and tricks to make a best practice? First thing, proofread thoroughly. Okay. So whatever the document you have prepared, document is nothing but the resume. So whatever the resume you have prepared, you have to read it for once, twice, or thrice. Okay, more than 3 times also. Because if there is any single error, machine will reject, or obviously human will reject your resume. Because for one particular job role, we are having thousands and thousands of resumes. So what you have to do? You should avoid those error in your resume. So for that, what you have to do? You have to make a check again and again in your resume. So once you got satisfied, there is no error in that resume, then you can proceed further with the apply. And then not only from your end, and also you can get from some kind of higher authorities like your mentor. Okay. So you are having some mentors or trainers, means you can get some suggestion from their side. Okay. And if you are having some career advisors, means you can use them to add few more content. Or if I want to remove some irrelevant content, means from their help we can do those changes. Okay. And then keep it current. What is that? Keep it current. So if you learn some new skills, okay, after creating that resume, I have learned some new skills, means you have to make it that in your resume. Okay. If it is relevant, means obviously you will get the chance to place in that particular job. And then engage in networking. So we are having so much of networking platform to get the connections. LinkedIn, Naukri, okay, Facebook, that is what Meta. So many networkings we are having to get the connection. So based on their connection, you can enhance your resume and also we can apply for the different job roles. Okay. So these are the things you need to remember while preparing the resume. Okay. And we have discussed about the odd skills and soft skills also. Okay. And few famous job portal we are having here. That is what I have mentioned. LinkedIn, Naukri, Upwork, Glassdoor, Shine, Quicker Jobs, Indeed, Monster, Career, Jobs for Her. From Google, Google for Jobs. Likewise, we are having various job portal. If you are searching for the particular role, so for example, I want to search for data scientist in India, means you will get thousands and thousands of job roles from the Google search itself, from various job portal, whatever we have discussed till now, right? LinkedIn, Naukri. So for using that particular portal, we can apply for various job roles. So data scientist in the sense, not only the particular data scientist, in that we are having various levels. Junior data scientist, associate data scientist, and then chief data scientist, senior data scientist. Like that, various job roles are there. So whatever the job role, you have to understand the job description. From there, we can easily prepare the resume. Okay. So what are the keywords I need to put? If you're applying for the data scientist role, these are the keywords. Okay. So here we are having n number of keywords. You no need to put all the keywords in your resume. Based on your job description, based on their requirement, you have to mention those skills, like which is what I have mentioned: technical skills and tools, analytical skills, business understanding, soft skills. So these are a major category. Under those category, we are having a problem solving, critical thinking, attention to detail, like that. Each and everything we can mention, but it should not be this much level. Based on your job description, you can filter those keywords. Okay. So what are the frequent questions you can expect in your resume? In your interviews, me. How could you have improved your career progress? Okay, how could you have improved your career progress? What are the tools? What are the various tools you have learned? So why do you worry about? Okay, in case I'm having some career gap, so that will make us worry. So why do you worry about? So what are the, you can give some example of your creativity. So they will ask some kind of scenario. From that, they will give you some questions. So what you have to do, based on your creative skill or if based on your story preparation, you can give some examples to them. Okay. So how do you feel about working nights and weekends? Are you willing to relocate or travel? So these are the common questions you will expect in your interview. Okay, apart from the resume. So finally, I don't know anything but certainty, but seeing the stars make me dream. So let me show you our resume optimization hub. That is Row Hub. Okay. So in our learning resources, okay, in our official website, that is 360digitmg.com, on your right hand side top corner you can see the learning resources. Under that learning resources, we are having different USPs. In that, we are having a particular USP for this kind of job engagement, that is resume optimization hub. So what is the use of this resume optimization hub? What we can do? Okay, so we can specifically call it as Row Hub. Okay, so here we can create your own resume or we can update our resume based on the job description. So what you have to do? You can start it for the free. and you have to apply a job description. In case if you are having the old resume, you can apply, you can mention, you can upload that old resume here, and based on the job description, it will tailor your resume and it will compare it with that particular job description. In case I need to add any keywords or I want to remove any keywords, some irrelevant content are there in that resume mail. So this resume optimization up will enhance your resume and give the new version to you. Okay, so please explore it without fail. And thank you for this wonderful session. We will meet again on next Thursday. Bye. Have a nice day.